Hello students and welcome to my channel. Students, today we are going to enter into the paths and trails of class 11th, the main textbook Hornbill, and the first chapter, The Portrait of a Lady, written by Khushwant Singh. So let's learn about the author as well as a brief introduction of this chapter. But the chapter is written by Mr. Khushwant Singh, a renowned writer in English language belonging to India. And one of his quotes says that I believe that a sense of every person's religion should be the endeavor not to hurt another person or living thing and to preserve his environment. So with this thought, let's get started. Well, Khushwant Singh, born as Khushal Singh in the year 1915 on 15th August, he was born in Punjab. In 2014, on 20th of March, he died. He was an Indian author, lawyer, diplomat, journalist, and politician. His experience in the 1947 partition of India inspired him to write Train to Pakistan in 1956, which was later made into a film in 1998, and which happens to be his most well-known novel till date. Born in Punjab, Khushwant Singh was educated in New Delhi and studied law at St. Stephen College, Delhi, and King's College in London. After working as a lawyer in Lahore Court for 8 years, he joined the Indian Foreign Service upon the independence of India from British Empire in 1947. He was appointed journalist in the All India Radio in 1951 and then moved to the Department of Mass Communications of UNESCO at Paris in 1956. These last two careers encouraged him to pursue a literary career. And as a writer, he was best known for his trenchant secularism, humor, sarcasm, and an abiding love of poetry. His comparisons of social and behavior characteristics of Westerners and Indians are laced with acid wit. He served as the editor of several literary and news magazines as well as 2 newspapers through the 1970s and 1980s. Between 1980 and 86, he served as a member of Parliament in Rajya Sabha, the upper house of the Parliament of India. And these are some of the books written by him: Delhi, a Novel, Untold Love Stories from India, Sunset Club, and the much talked about and the most influential work of his, the novel Train to Pakistan. Now coming to the chapter that we have in our syllabus, The Portrait of a Lady. It is a story of the author. He describes his relationship with his grandmother over the years. He pens down her daily activities and how she evolved as a character as time passed by. He explains her appearance, which helps create an image in the reader's mind. So it is usually said that The Portrait of a Lady by Khushwant Singh happens to be an autobiographical kind of account where he remembers his own grandmother. And yes, it is a pen portrait of the lady, and any character or any human being goes through various phases, and that is how the character of that person also develops and changes. So the changes as well as the developments in the character were clearly written and noted down and presented by the writer here, and we see that through time how the grandmother changed over the years because of the place in which she was living, because of the change in situation as well as the change in time. So to say that what the story is about, the story in a nutshell, I would say that in this story, Khushwant Singh draws a pen picture of his grandmother. He describes how he had spent his childhood with her in the village. He also describes the change that came in the relationship in the city. Ultimately, he describes the moving scene of her death. In The Portrait of a Lady by Khushwant Singh, we have the theme of innocence, friendship, love, connection, kindness, selflessness, respect, and acceptance. Narrated in the first person by an unnamed narrator, the story is a memory piece, and after reading the story, the reader realizes that Singh maybe exploring the theme of innocence. In many ways, not only is the grandmother there for the narrator, but she has dedicated her life to him when she has needed to. It is also noticeable that the grandmother is dedicated to God, something that is clearer to the reader by the way of the fact that the grandmother is constantly praying. Just as she feels connected to the narrator, likewise the grandmother has a connection with God. It might also be significant that the grandmother has a connection with both the village dogs and the sparrows she feeds. In many ways, this may place a spotlight in the grandmother's personality, suggesting that perhaps the grandmother is somebody who cares for all living creatures. If anything, the grandmother may be selfless. She thinks of others, including animals, before she thinks about herself. Where many may wish to be idle or do nothing in their old age, this is not the case when it comes to the grandmother. She appears to put others ahead of herself, may it be the grandson, may it be the village dogs and the sparrows, or the family itself. She never tried to interfere in the normal routine, and she kept her calm, she kept her cool, she was patient throughout and accepted even her loneliness with a lot of grace and without complaining even a bit, particularly when it comes to narrator. So, as I said, that she accepted her loneliness, which is nowadays very common if we talk about old age. We have nuclear families, everybody is busy doing this and that. We have our jobs to pursue, we have to earn a lot of money, we have to take care of the children, but we hardly take care of the elders. They find themselves completely withdrawn and isolated. Some of them keep on complaining, and yes, they should complain too, but then some of them are there who never complain and accept everything as such. So the chapter puts some light on this thought also, that old age is synonymous with forgetfulness, it is vulnerable, it is grumpy. People feel that they have become useless, they are helpless, they are lonely and slow and fragile and poor and frail and whatnot. So old age denotes all these things. So what we need to do as a human being, as a grown up, as somebody who is not old, and as someone who can take care of the elderly, they only need our care and support. So we can make their final years a lot much better by providing care and regular support. So with this thought, I will close the introduction for the chapter, and in the next session I will start off with the text of the chapter, and let us see that how the narrator has presented the grandmother with all her physical features and characteristic features through the chapter, The Portrait of a Lady. So thank you for now.